Joblessness and stupidity joined together is a bad combination. Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. In case you're new here, I'm Lydia Stanley, and if you're not new, thank you so much Butterfly for coming back to my video today. In today's video, I'm going to be showing to you and introducing to you a Nigerian brand called ELSAS PRO, and I'm also going to be giving you guys a story time of my almost sugar daddy experience. I'm going to be telling you what I went through during this period of time and like my advice to my younger self, or if you're someone that might be going through stuff I went through like that, you might hear someone else's experience and it might help you. So if that sounds like something you like to watch, come and hang out with me while we try out this amazing Nigerian brand and I give you guys this juicy story time. Okay, if you end up enjoying, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Without further much talking, okay, so before we go into this story time, it's important I tell you that ELSAS PRO is a Nigerian brand based in Abuja, Nigeria, and they pride themselves in providing affordable luxury. So a lot of the products I'll be showing you here are from the ranges of like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. It's just, I think, the eyeshadows that are a bit more pricier, and from the quality of me just watching it, I can already tell you that they are good quality products. So I'm just going to be talking about the ELSAS PRO products while I do my makeup and just chat with you. If you want to check more about them, check them down below. I'm always going to be super proud of being Nigerian makeup brands are really stepping up, and to be honest, they're even comparing in quality too. I'm first going to use my intensive moisture balance, and what I'm just going to do with this, oh, it's still sealed, it's a moisturizer, and I'm just going to apply it. Squirt it out. It has the normal moisturizer smell. This entire look I'm going for today is like really dewy, summery. Maybe I'll not paint this hair like this. This fine girl is not going to help me. It's going to stress me out. For the longest time since I've been little, I always thought it was not, I didn't even know what it was until a certain age, but now that I know, I can say it, I didn't feel like I had pretty privilege. So you know how those girls that are less, they are not chubby when they are growing up, they are very pretty, like flowers, just very fine girls. I think every class school group had one of those kind of people that are really just fine. Like yourself as a girl, you say, you are fine there. Oh, this applying so nice. Wow. Moisture balance from ELSAS PRO. Wow, I really love this moisturizer, yo. It has like, it doesn't feel tacky, it doesn't feel like sticky. You saw the lift. Wow. I mean, ELSAS PRO might be off to a good start too. And I'm having a lot of breakouts because I went to go and take milk. Milk is not my strong forte, okay? I'm lactose intolerant, so I like have stomach upset, have breakouts. I thought I could sneak in the milk because I just finished drinking apple cider vinegar. Bad idea. The thing with me is, after secondary school, like towards SS2, SS3, by that time I was not dating anyone. I dated someone, but it wasn't like, I didn't feel I was the finest girl in class, if that makes sense. So that really built up on my insecurities, and plus I was chubby, I was taller than most of my classmates. I'm using my Moisture Lock Instant Spray. I'm going to use this over the moisturizer to lock it in. I'm going into my Invisible Pore Primer, and this is just going to give me an even smoother base for my makeup look. And I'm going, this consistency is quite like, let's see if I can show you. Can you see that? It's not as thick as the other ones. I think, if I'm being very honest with you, because I didn't have anyone telling me how pretty I looked, like my age, or just like having guys pay attention to me. There's a certain age you are in puberty that you just want guys I mean, they're paying attention to other girls. Why are they not paying attention to me? And that was the stage I was. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, maybe dating in secondary school is not for me. Let me wait till I get to uni. So in those periods, I used to wear like really flashy stuff, really flashy colors. Jesus, I had this bag that was neon blue, very bright. Speaking of bags, not that blue one I'm talking about, okay? We've since grown up and become a lot more classy. I'm talking about this brown one I got from Teddy Blake. This bag is amazing. It's very functional. It helps me with my day-to-day activities. The hardware is so pretty. I had to make a brown slippers to match this so that it goes with my everyday look. I really love this bag so much. The pockets are well made. The bag is just very functional. You know how you have a bag that can go, you know, girls, you know what I'm talking about, a bag that can go with you through thick and thin, and this bag has been that for me. Because of the brown as well, it matches almost anything I'm wearing. I'm not those kind of fancy people to be matching their bags all the time to what they're wearing, but this one just is functional and it's cute, it's fashionable as well. Currently Teddy Blake is having a sale, and if you're looking to try out luxury that's affordable, look no further than Teddy Blake. I have a link in my description box down below right now, and if you click that, it will take you to where you'll be able to shop, and they do ship anywhere. Take advantage of their ongoing sales right now. You would love it. It's a very worthy investment if you want to buy a bag for yourself, for school, for your mom, for your friend. Teddy Blake is a place to look, and you would definitely love your purchase. I've never felt something so durable. I've never used a bag so durable as this bag. Okay, let's get back to the tutorial. And I remember this bag because the first day I carried this bag and stood by the road was when I met the man I'm going to tell you guys about in this story time. I'm using their dewy foundation, medium coverage. I told you I'm going for an area look with this. They have a waterproof full coverage foundation on their range, but I just wanted to use this just so I can get that entire look I'm going for. And I'm just applying it lightly first with a brush, and I'm going to use one of ELSA's Pro's brushes to blend it out. I'm using my EL003 brush. It's a regular stippling brush. I really love how this is blending this out. Wow, it's giving me skin. I love it. It's very lightweight. It's reminding me of the Huda Beauty Glowish, those foundations that you wear for lightweight everyday makeup kind of vibe, and it has a good amount of coverage too. Ooh, you know those transition times between uni when you're trying to get into uni, so like you're at home because you finished SS3 but uni has not started in the new year. It was around this time that I went to the bank and I took this blue bag and I was wearing this blue shirt, and when I got down from the when I got out of the bank, I was standing by the road, and I like when cars stopped, you know, to just talk to me. It made me feel so pretty. It made me feel like, okay, I was desirable, you know. All my effort to dress up didn't go to vain, and that's a very bad mentality to have, girls. Like, don't think that the kind of attention you seek by doing those things is going to benefit you in the long run. Yeah, it might look like, okay, everyone is doing it, and your friends have boyfriends, your friends have people that, you know, take care of them. Why not you? I mean, you're a girl as well, Abby, and you're fine as well. So even if you don't have people actively in your life telling you how much of a queen you are, in fact, then you owe it to yourself to tell it to yourself. Because this was something I didn't know. I just felt very happy when cars would stop for me. So I was standing by the road and this guy just comes up. This foundation, it's giving. It doesn't even look like I have on anything, but it's covered all my imperfections. I love it so much. Standing there, you know, being a cute girl that I was, that I am, that I'll be. He now goes on to tell me, oh, that he wants to talk to me. I should step into his car, and I didn't want to, but I did. Don't get me wrong too, I was not trying to look for anybody to take care of me. I've always been someone that would not ask you for anything. I won't ask you for shit because I'm a firstborn, and growing up in the kind of household I grew up in, you know, you kind of are trained to soft pedal, let your younger ones have better, you get. So it's like I can't even ask for stuff when I want to, because have they gotten stuff for my younger ones? Have they satisfied them? If you're a firstborn in a Nigerian household, you understand. I'm going in with this brush. It's still their foundation brush. I just need more coverage around my mouth, and this one is giving me a very sheer. I think this brush is also helping me apply this stuff very well, but I need coverage around my mouth area, like my mustache area. That's what I'm doing with this brush. It's the EL001 brush. If you grew up in a Nigerian household, you will know what I'm talking about as a firstborn, especially a household that is not the $10 household or Dangote's household. I've never been one to ask for stuff. I didn't feel like anybody needed to provide for me. My boyfriend, even now my husband, I'm not those kind of people that have that mentality that, oh, it's the man's job to fully provide for his woman, for his family. No, it's a joint effort, and I like to carry my own weight. If I go to a restaurant, like I've always had this in my head, when I was even dating, if I go to a restaurant and I'm eating with you, I should be able to afford what I'm eating, so that in case you want to behave like you don't have sense, you're not going to leave me stranded or leave me looking like a fool. Do you get? I just pay for my meal and go. If you want to wash plates, you can wash plates, but me, I'm bouncing. So I've had that mentality for the longest time. I've not been that kind of person to say, okay, let me just look for a man, he'll take care of all my needs. Nah, I like to work hard for myself. So even though I was not earning money at this time doing makeup or whatever, I didn't ask, because the little my parents gave me were enough. You understand? So this was not my mentality going into this guy's car. Currently do not have concealers, or they didn't send me concealer, so I'm using the waterproof full coverage liquid foundation. I'm going to mix that in with a lighter shade, and that's what I'm going to use underneath my eyes. I would like this area to be a bit more full coverage than the rest of my face. So I went to this man, and this was the time when it's like, don't talk to a man, no, you talk less of you seen with an older man, blah blah blah. But he gave me his card and he made me give him my number. He ended up telling me where he works, that I should come and meet him. I remember going there that day, because you know, joblessness and stupidity joined together is a bad combination. But I ended up going there, and I went to his office. I remember feeling like, okay, because maybe he told them I was coming, so all his staff, they were like, okay, you they find Ogabi, something like that. I had to wait outside, because you know this kind of men that have, I'm using that same stippling brush because it has a lot of the foundation in it, and it's going to help give me that like blended out soft look without necessarily making the concealer I applied look like it's over top with the entire look. I use a bright concealer, yes, it's full coverage more than the foundation, yes, but I still want it to look like they are both meant to be with each other. And these products from ELSAS PRO, they're really making me so happy right now. Like, are you not seeing the screen? Nigerian brands are really, they're really trying. So I waited in his office, and when it was time, he beckoned on them to send me in. Upon going into his office, I sat down. He asked me my name. He was a very chill man. Let's just say he was around 60, 65 at the time, and we're going to call him Daddy A for this. I'm going to call him Daddy A for this talk, and I'm going to tell you, in my head that time, I didn't even think it was going to, because at this time I was still a virgin, so I didn't think it was going to even lead to that. We spoke that day, and after speaking, he said, okay, I should come see him the next day. I said, no, I'm not going to be able to, even though I was not doing anything, but I didn't want to come. I ended up going to see him the day after that, and then by the end of the first week, he said I should come to his house. His house was quite close to mine. KD is not so big in terms of areas you can live in, you know. I'm going to apply a bit more concealer just right here. Always double highlight, especially if you like that blended out, nice soft look, but still highlighted. Always double apply, blend out the first one, apply the second target highlight to where you really want to highlight. He told me to come to his house, and I did. He was living alone, so that the A's family are no longer in KD, right? So you know those kind of families where I don't know where his wife was, or if his wife was late, but he told me about his children, that they were in school and all of that. And trust me, like all this time I kept, like I knew nothing was going to happen, because I just couldn't bring my mind around it. My head is still okay. Your body, your virginity is for your husband, all of that. This is where my head was at that time, right? I guess he knew that I was a virgin and he was gentle or patient or whatever. The shade of powder they sent me is Topaz, and it's a bit too yellow and too dark for what I like underneath my eyes now. So I just put out a lot of that and a little bit of a translucent powder just to kind of, you know, mix it in. Don't be afraid to mix your products to especially get what you desire. This went on and off because after the first month I met this guy, I had to go to school. So I went to school, and then when I got back, I don't know, somehow he would know around the period we'll get back from school. So I get back from school and Daddy A keeps calling me, and when I finally said okay, I was going to go see him in his office, he kept saying, oh, he was been waiting for me to come back. And this was when I knew he knew I was a virgin, because he now asked me that, hope I've not done anything or this one that I've gone to school. I did not now answer him. This is so good. Ginger, apple cider vinegar, lemon, cinnamon. I'm going to be using my eyebrow pencil. It's called Brow Pro, and it's has a sharpener attached to it. It has a spoolie as well. That's what I'll be using for my brows today. And I'll just do my brows. Go ahead and do my brows because I can't talk, but then I'll be right back, okay? Don't touch that dial. Did my brows, went ahead to do one eye, and I'm back. I'm using this ELSAS PRO eyebrow setting gel, and I'm just going to use that to just comb through my hairs and to place them how I like, just so that when it dries, it looks, you know, a certain way. If you have really fluffy brows, this just makes it very feathery. Let's go ahead and tell you the products I'll be using so we can go back to our story time. I'm using the ELSAS PRO palette, and this is the all matte palette. So now you can see how pretty the colors are. They are very unique shades on this row that I haven't seen in any palettes in a while. If you want me to do a neutral look with that, let me know. But I was feeling more adventurous to play with the yellow, so I play with this color, I play with this dark. Look at how dark this color is. This is like a dark brownish. It's not black at all, it's brown, but it's very dark. I struggle so hard with giving you a soft glam look with this palette, because just look at how pretty these colors are in this region. Like, it looks so good, but I wanted to give you something more summery, more nice, and I really don't have any yellow eyeshadow tutorial on my channel, you know, so I decided to make this it. So if you want me to do more neutral looks for you, let me know. The luminous eyeshadow palette, and this palette is all shimmers. So if you're someone that does a lot of shimmery looks, or for like brides or just clients in general that like shimmery looks, this is a palette for you. This is what the ELSAS PRO luminous eyeshadow palette looks like. It doesn't have a mirror, the shades aren't named, but it's a really pretty shimmer. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids now, and I'm using the eyeshadow blending brush from ELSAS PRO, and it's the EL006. I'm going to use this and go into my transition colors first. If you remember from my tutorial from last week or so, I taught you about layering colors, and that's really what makes the difference with your eyeshadows. I hope this one will be easy for you to follow through. We're going to be using 4 colors mainly, and we're just going to be placing them at different intensities. You cannot be watching me and not be slaying your eyeshadow game, okay? So anything I show you, try to practice, and you know, it will be easy for you to follow through. But this brush, I've noticed, is already very soft. It really allows me blend the color. You know, you need to apply your transition colors before you blend in your other heavier colors, just so it's, you know, it looks like this. It looks blended, it looks nice, it looks wearable. That's a trick I'll tell you. Always use a transition color. If you're deeper skin and this kind of looks, this kind of orange tone neutral colors are good for you. Back to my story time. He told me to come to his place on a Sunday. That was the next day, and at this point I was already 19-ish, if I haven't mentioned before. So I was in the house that Sunday. Went in with this color here. So he said I should come to his house, and in my head, still at this point, it's like, I've not asked you for a lot of money, right? you've not given me money, you've not done stuff to me to warrant me thinking that you're expecting to have sex with me. Do you get? So that was the stupid naive mindset I had going to his house that day. So I went there, and the usual, like, I think I made eggs or something and we ate, and we were just staying because he had a TV in his room. So we're just staying there and watching the TV. After I go in with that dark brown, I'm going in with the darkest brown on the edge now, this one here, this shade here, and I'm using that to just really shape out. That's what's going to shape out my crease. So you see how this place looks dark? That's that color I'm placing there now. This, if you're paying attention, this is the third color I'm placing. I'm actually going to switch out my brush because that one is really applying the color very pigmented, and I don't need that right here. So I'm just going to use this brush to kind of fluff it out and then blend it more into my crease. So you see that transition color is pretty much covered up, but trust me, it helps. It goes a long way in giving you this eye. 30 minutes go by and his friends came around. So Daddy A had 3 friends. I could hear 3 different voices, and at the time I couldn't really understand Yoruba, and they started greeting each other in Yoruba. But at some point they were saying, oh, they wanted to come call me. And basically at this point of this video, if you're not 18 plus, click off, okay? Because I don't know what else to be telling you, but you're not supposed to be watching by this time. Anyway, he went in with this yellow eyeshadow, this yellow color in the palette as well, and I'm just going to stamp that on my eyes. I forgot a very important step, which is to apply primer first. So I'm just going to try to dust this as much as I can off. Then I'll apply primer and apply it. He goes ahead to tell them that, oh, he has not done anything with me yet, but he noticed that I don't collect money a lot, so they will have to offer me a lot of money. That he's sure if all 4 of them offer me money, I'm a small girl, I can't say no because I need the money. And basically 4 of them were planning to have like a gangbang session with me. At this point, when I heard that, I was freaking shaking. Like, I was so scared. I was like, even if I let these men come into the room, because I was in the room eavesdropping on their conversation. Good thing I was nosy and I was not just lying down on the bed like a mumu, because I shouldn't even been there in the first place. Abi, it's Sunday, I'm supposed to be in church. Abi, that's how they started saying, okay, that sounds like a good idea. Let them just have some fun, and they're sure since I'm young, I'll accept that they will come meet me and offer me this thing. So as they were still talking these things, I was thinking, like, what can I say that will make me go out and not come back to this place ever again in my life, like ever. This was when stuff really got real for me. Like, every other time I've been playing dumb, playing naive, like, okay, this man really, you know, maybe he's not like the rest of them, maybe he doesn't want anything to do with my body. Lie. If you do not want to deal with what that thing is, or having a sugar daddy or whatever it is, because they would want to sleep with you, I'm telling you, don't be naive like I was, because it's not everybody. Like, imagine if I didn't listen to them and maybe they came to me and I didn't accept and they still acted normal. They could have drugged my drink and still had their way with me, probably even made videos. Like, I've been in very dangerous situations that sometimes when I'm even telling my baby, because I've told him about a lot of all these experiences, he really thanks God for my life, because I was stupid. And it's also because I didn't really have friends, I didn't have elder sisters, I didn't have anybody to talk to. So I literally had to figure out a lot of things by myself. It helped me in the long run, but I didn't have anybody telling me this is what it is when a guy does this, or this is what happens when, like, those kind of, you know. I was so shocked that day, man. I ran out and I said that, oh, that, you know, this is still morning, this is 10:30, that my mother said I should be back so that she'll pick me for third service by 10. And that, don't worry, that let me just go, let me see her and tell her that I have lessons with my neighbor, then I'll come back. They didn't know I had heard them or whatever. Daddy A was like, okay, that I should go, and I should promise him that I will come back, that he had a surprise for me. I said, okay, sir, I'll come back. Like, the way I ran from that place, never, like, after that experience, I never went back to, like, I never had anything to do with an older person. I never went back to him. I never gave any older person that stopped a chance. Like, I never gave anybody a chance like that again. I never. It was like a very scary experience for me in that moment, because you've never done anything with me, and then all four of you at once. Are you mad? Did I tell you that is the profession that I went to go and study in school for 1 year and I'm back to teach you guys? Another thing I really remembered was like he finished one of them, like they were mostly Yoruba guys. So one of them, like after speaking Yoruba, finished saying a lot of things in Yoruba, he now said in Yoruba, in the wine or something like that. Or that was the only thing I could pick up, and I didn't even need to came back for sure. If they had come to meet me and I said no, they would have found a way to drug me, because they didn't have anything to lose at the end of the day. Even me with my innocent self, like they didn't think I was, and they didn't even know the extent I was willing to go. They were just willing to have their way. Do you understand? And even if they wanted to use me for ritual or whatever, they would have had their way, and nobody would be the wiser. It really was a very funny time in my life, and I look back now and I think, oh, this is what you could have gotten yourself into. I'm going into that orange, this like burnt orange shade here, and that's what I'm using to kind of give this yellow a soft landing into the dark brown here. So that's what's creating this like pretty gradient. We're not making it obvious, but it should be there to create a good transition. The yellow is more obvious than that color, which is what I want. ELSA's Pro pen liner. From my experience with this on this other eye, it's not the blackest liner, but it's the easiest. Like it's very easy to apply. I'd like to know from your end or your perspective as well, like have you ever had such experiences? ELSA's Pro has this pretty cream shadows, and this is the number 3. It's like a yellow gold, and that's what's here. I'm going to do that here. Please, if you're someone that is trying to grow up now, try to ask questions and try to get a young adult that you can trust. If you're a girl, try to get a female young adult that you can trust, someone that won't also take advantage of you, because at those early formative years like 17, 18, 19, you're very bendable, you're very moldable. So if you pick up a character, then it will be very difficult for you to let go. So sense of reasoning and your sense of understanding is still very myopic, it's still in its infancy stages. If you get pregnant at that point, who's going to take care for your child for you? You need to understand that there are STDs involved. You need to understand that there's so many things, there's soul ties involved, there's so many things involved in having sex. So it's not just about being the big girl or getting cars and bags from all these rich old men. Like anything that they can give you, you can give yourself. You can give yourself, and there's no better prestige than spending your money. I can say it anywhere, anytime. I've never had to beg or ask anybody to send me money to buy, clothes, shoes, stuff I need, a new phone, new laptop, my gadgets. Like, my husband is promising to do all of that, and he has started doing all of that now. But that doesn't mean I even have that mindset to request it. It's not something I'm asking for, because I already know I'm able to get them myself. Like, me by myself, I'm capable. And that's kind of mindset I want you to have. Don't depend on anybody. Don't think that your success or your blowing quotes is based on someone else's, money, or you having to do very derogatory things, like very nasty stuff to get it. There's no dignity in that. I'm going to be using my double blusher palette from ELSA's Pro, and I already love the brown and orange tone in this palette. I'm just going to mix both shades, so the red, very pigmented, and the brown, just tapping them in like this. I have sufficient product there. Actually, I'm tapping in more of the brown to mute down that red, because I don't want my cheeks to be bright red. And then I'm just going to go ahead and apply it on my cheeks. It's so beautiful, and I love how this brush is applying it. And so I'm going to be lining with the ELSA's Pro Lip Contour, and it looks really dark. Let's see how dark it is. It's dark enough. Just has that purple tint. I wish brands would make more and more brown eyeliners, or brown lip pencils, like brown, dark brown. So my loves, that completes the video. I hope you enjoyed watching from start to finish. I absolutely enjoyed playing with ELSAS PRO. I would recommend you to get something from them. Look at how I look like $1,000,000. I'm using this gloss here right now. It's in 06 and they're so beautiful. They are the right amount of pigment and the right amount of sheer as well. Non-sticky, really beautiful as you can see. Of course, you have to line your lip to kind of get this look, but this is so pretty. Let me know down below what you think about ELSAS PRO products, and I would also really love to hear what you think about my story. Would you like to hear more story times about all the things I encountered while dating, just floating through life trying to find myself? It might help someone out there. Who knows? Would you like to hear more? You know what to do. Give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to see all your amazing butterflies in my next video. Bye.